What's up, everybody? It's me, Joey P, Joe P Zapia, host of the Betting Pros podcast, and I know what you're thinking. How do I make money betting on sports? It's a very intimidating market, and it's hard to find success. And don't fool yourself, because betting on sports is hard. It's not easy. So what I've done here is I've laid out 10 really good lessons for those of you who are either new to sports betting or have already ventured into the pool and are starting to drown a little bit. I'm here to save you, throw you a life raft, and help you out, because the truth is, betting on sports is tough, and to make it easier, we provide you great tools here at Betting Pros, great insights, but there's also some really good best practices that we can lay out here to help you become a more successful sports bettor. So let's dive into that. Before we do, don't forget, the Betting Pros app is crucial for getting ahead of the rest of the pack. Download it for free, and also stay with us for all of our content here on our YouTube channel. So like this video, share, and subscribe to Betting Pros on the YouTube side as well, so we can help you be more successful. So without further ado, let's get to 10 lessons that can help you make money in sports wagering. Lesson number 1, quality over quantity. In a typical week around the NFL, there are roughly 16 games to bet on. Many bettors will place some sort of bet, whether it be against the spread or on the total of every game, and some bettors may identify a busy weekend of MLB or a night of NBA or NHL action and do the same thing. While some have success doing this occasionally, over time, it's a recipe for disaster. Remember, the more bets you place, the more sportsbooks are taking from the juice, not to mention the more opportunity you have to be wrong. Instead, identifying 1 or 2 bets that are well researched and have profitable odds can be much more fruitful than half a dozen smaller bets in the same night. If your bankroll is, say, $50 for one evening, placing it on 1 or 2 strong bets can yield a far better return than spreading that $50 over 5 different ones, or worse, parlays. Which brings us to lesson number 2, avoid parlays, especially those with more than 2 legs. Parlays can be tempting because small wagers with huge returns, if everything breaks right, it sounds really exciting, right? Wrong. We are here to be profitable, and the more variables you add to a bet, the greater the likelihood of its ultimate failure. Now, skinny parlays, or pairings as some call them, can be useful, turning minus odds into more favorable investments. Let's say that I like the Yankees to win with Gerrit Cole on the mound, but the juice on the Yankees is minus 138. That's a big number. Well, if I can pair that money line bet with Gerrit Cole's over on the 6.5 strikeouts at a plus 116 mark against an offense that frankly strikes out a fair amount, well, I can turn that sure thing into a plus money wager. The theory is, if Cole does what we expect, which is strike out his opponents, and the Yankees will probably have a high percentage of winning that game. Therefore, the collective investment becomes more potentially profitable for me. Cole's over on K's plus the Yankees money line would give me a number of plus 211 combined on my overall investment. And who can argue with a 2 times money return? I'm not going to, and neither should you. Sure, the allure of a long string of low percentage bets is a fun and intriguing one, but turning $50 into $100 on a regular basis can turn that $50 into $1,000 over a few weeks with a far greater probability by placing smarter wagers like this. Patience and attentiveness to the process will make you more successful in the short and long term when it comes to sports betting, and parlays sometimes can frankly take you down the wrong path. Speaking of avoiding the wrong path, let's talk about lesson 3, which is fade the public. Remember, for a sportsbook to take a big loss, they would need a large percentage of money to be bet on one side of a game and have that side end up being the correct side. If that happened, the sportsbooks would have to pay out a large sum, and this almost never happens. An example would be, let's say, FDU in 2023 beating number 1 seed Purdue in the NCAA tournament. That was a huge upset. Now imagine if everybody was on the FDU side at a huge number. Sportsbooks would have taken a huge loss, but guess what? Like I said, that kind of stuff just does not happen. Since these instances are so rare, it's a good practice to fade the public, generally speaking, on many commonly bet games. This is especially true if the odds makers do not adjust the line out of fear of vulnerability. Take this situation from bettingpros.com, where we allow you to track the percentage of bets and the amount of money being bet on each side. Suppose the Dallas Cowboys were favored over the Washington Commanders by 7.5 points. What if 80% of the money that was being bet was on the Cowboys? Many times, odds makers would adjust the line and increase the spread, possibly making the Cowboys, say, to 9-point favorites by the end of the week. If the odds makers do not move the line, it would suggest they are comfortable with their position and don't mind the financial vulnerability if the Cowboys were to cover. In a situation like this, it's always advisable to fade the public and bet on the opposite side. In this instance, it would be the Commanders getting the points. A bit of warning though, this strategy is not foolproof, but it is a viable strategy, especially when investing in the best line possible, which is where Betting Pros comes in to help you. That's why shopping for the best odds is always paramount, which brings us to our next lesson. Use cheat codes, bettingpros.com, and our free tools. Many bettors have one go-to sportsbook that they are comfortable using, but these same people may not realize that other sportsbooks could have better odds on the same game that they want to bet. That is where Betting Pros comes in handy. You can see all the lines being offered at different sportsbooks and play the best one available for the wager you'd like to place. You can also take advantage of different sign-up bonuses and promotions to increase your ability to place wagers. In many sports, even a half a point difference in a line can be very significant. So why not take advantage so you can get the best line possible using the Betting Pros app and our tools to put yourself in the best position to win at all times, because that's what we're here for after all, isn't it? Let's stay under the learning tree for lesson number 5. Take advantage of live betting. While placing pre-game wagers are the more common approach, in-game betting can often be more lucrative. Live spreads are commonly calculated by sportsbooks using algorithms, thus the flow of the game is not factored in as much as you might think. Let's say Alabama is favored over LSU by 7 points to start the game. If the Crimson Tide score quick, early touchdowns, the live spread will likely go to double digits. Thus, many bettors find success in the live betting market, taking the underdog, in this case LSU, in a situation like this. As odds makers' original lines are often pretty accurate, this is an opportunity to make money. One can take advantage of thinking there will be some regression to the mean and that the game will end closer to what the original line was posted at in the first place. Now, before we get to our top 5 tips for making money in sports betting, if you've liked what you've seen so far and you want to learn more about making money in the world of sports, or you just happen to be in the market for a new favorite YouTube channel, go ahead, drop a like, and subscribe to Betting Pros on YouTube and follow us at Betting Pros on social media. Lesson number 6. Research and comparison. As you become more comfortable in the world of sports betting, you will start to get a feel for game lines and props. Doing your own research and crafting theoretical lines before looking at the sportsbook's lines is a great way to find value in the marketplace. Then, using tools like the Betting Pros Prop Bet Cheat Sheet and our Prop Bet Analyzer, you will get to help take that research to the next level and find the automatic best line on any given bet that you're looking for. Other factors such as team or player split stats, weather forecasts, or even injury updates are all vital pieces of information to possess to make solid, calculated betting decisions. There are endless examples of trends and stats that one can look at, but the nice thing about Betting Pros is the tools are right at your fingertips with so much of the work already done for you. I like the sound of that. How about you? Lesson number 7, study the odds. There are sometimes opportunities for early value when odds first drop before the public makes their moves. Staying on top of odds movement, though, is crucial for staying ahead of the trends and placing bets at the exact right time. With free tools like the Betting Pros app, you can even set your notifications to alert you for specific sports and take advantage of line movement. That way, you put yourself in the best possible position to get the best possible line to make the most money. Now, doesn't that sound smart? Of course it does. Lesson number 8, think long-term and high value. My favorite, which is the futures betting market, can offer some big payouts. Calculated investments in these wagers are a great way to make money at sites that will offer you cash out options. That means you don't have to see the bet all the way through to its conclusion. When placing a $100 bet on Patrick Mahomes at plus 700 for NFL MVP, it's possible that come Thanksgiving, that number could be plus 200, and books may be offering you a partial cash out of your bet. That means you can take the money and run and cover yourself if Mahomes falters down the stretch, or goodness gracious, an injury should occur, and all of a sudden someone goes right past Patrick Mahomes for this award. This is a very viable way to build bankroll over a long period of time, and you can think of it as playing the stock market. Buying in on a good company with good earning potential, seeing growth in that investment, then taking that growth out and applying it to a new stock to grow even more. Lesson number 9, bankroll management. Everyone has a different size bankroll available when it comes to sports betting, so don't be intimidated or even embarrassed to say, well, I'm only starting with this small amount because that's what I'm able to use. That's okay. You could take a small amount, make sound investments, and then build that bankroll over time with proper work ethic and using good tools like betting pros. Committing to sports that you're truly familiar with will also help, and you'll have a stronger understanding of the best ways to possibly start to build your bankroll. But don't forget our final rule when it comes to how to make money in sports betting. Lesson number 10, never let your fandom get in the way. It is very hard for many sports fans to realistically look at their teams from a neutral perspective. Fandom gets in the way of most people's sports wagering decisions and oftentimes leads to their ultimate demise. To truly be successful in sports betting, one must put their fandom aside and remember that this is business, not personal. And if you find yourself unable to do so, then simply fade your teams altogether and your favorite players and focus on other investments. Well, there you have it, everybody. Those are our 10 lessons. You can drop a comment below and let me know if you have any other helpful tips for some of our listeners and watchers on our YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe to the Betting Pros podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please use the tools that we're giving you at your fingertips to bet smarter and not harder. The Betting Pros app is free. We also have a premium option at bettingpros.com/premium where you can upgrade to even better tools if you are really going to take sports betting seriously. And if you use all of the tools and some of these lessons here, you're going to start profiting and you're going to have a better opportunity to make money in sports. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun as well. You could capitalize on favorable matchups, build your portfolio, build your bankroll, and more importantly, have some fun, because that's what this is supposed to be about in the first place. So thanks again for joining us for this how-to video, and stay with us for Betting Pros, because we got a lot more for you all season long for every sport that you can imagine. That'll do it for me, Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.